want to talk about something I've been wrestling with personally lately. If you are a regular listener of this show, you know that these daily doses of leadership are often a forum for me to share my growth points. And I have been feeling this tension between adapting to meeting expectations and staying true to who I am as a leader. And here's what that feels like from the inside. Someone in your life, your boss, a client, a stakeholder, a colleague, a friend, a partner, someone in your life has expectations of how you should show up. And some of those expectations are reasonable, of course. Some of them are even growth edges worth leaning into. But what about the ones that ask you to be someone you're not? To sand down something that is actually core to how you lead and who you are. To shrink or shift in ways that feel like a sacrifice rather than a stretch. And so you start to wonder, as I have been, is this growth or is this becoming someone different? And is that why it feels so off to me? So I have been sitting with that question a lot. And then recently it came up in a one-on-one coaching session with an executive I've been working with. She raised it when she said, I feel like I'm sacrificing who I am. And I thought, well, of course this is coming up now, because this is one of the most human, most universal leadership challenges there is, and we don't talk about it enough. So let me offer some clarity that I've been finding my own way toward. There is a difference between adapting and abandoning. Let me just say that again. There is a difference between adapting to meet the needs of the moment and abandoning who you are. Adapting is growth. It is recognizing that the way you naturally are wired and operate isn't always the most effective approach for every situation. It's stretching into a mindset or a behavior that doesn't come easily because the moment requires it, or the people in your life need something different. You're committed to becoming more. Like, that's growth. It's also emotional intelligence. It's development. And that is what great leaders do. Abandoning is something else entirely. It's when the expectation isn't asking you to grow, it's asking you to disappear, to give up the things that make you effective, authentic, and real, to perform a version of leadership that belongs to someone else. And here's how you know the difference. From my perspective anyways, in my experience, growth stretches you. It's uncomfortable, but it doesn't feel like a betrayal of yourself. It just feels awkward or challenging. You can see the opportunity in it even when it's hard. I talk so much about my own growth edges and leaning into those. Abandonment, on the other hand, shrinks you because it feels like a loss, like you're becoming less than rather than more, like you're leaving something essential behind. So the goal, and this is the real work, is to hold both at the same time, to stay curious about where you genuinely have room to grow while also staying fiercely grounded in who you are, your values, your truths, the quirky, messy things that make you you, to be willing to stretch without being willing to disappear. And that's not always easy to navigate. It certainly isn't a clear line, especially when the expectation is coming from someone with power over your career or someone you really care about, especially when the pressure is real and the stakes are high, especially when you're running really fast and don't have a lot of margin to process what's happening. But again, through my own experience, here's what I believe. The leaders who do this work, who get clear on their own identity, their own values, their own unique way of navigating the world and leading, they are the ones who can adapt without losing themselves because they know what they are adapting from. They have a grounded center to return to. And that's the key, guys, because as I look back in my life and my leadership, those times I have abandoned myself, I haven't returned to center. I haven't been leading from that centered, grounded place. Know what you are adapting from. Have a center to return to. That is the work, and it's the work worth doing. So here's your reflection for today. Where are you feeling that tension right now between adapting to meet expectations and staying true to yourself? And as you sit with it, does it feel like a stretch towards growth? Or does it feel like a request to abandon something essential? You know the difference when you stop and get quiet and feel the response. You don't have to choose between growing and being yourself, but you do have to know the difference, and that is the work. And we'd love to do it with you. If this resonates, reach out. Let's have a one-on-one conversation about going deeper. Let's talk about coaching. Let's talk about doing this work in community. You can find me on LinkedIn by searching Andrea Butcher, or you can find us at abundantempowerment.com. We're in this together. What a great way to take care of yourself and ultimately each other.